So what is going on, guys? Welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today is another ability comparison video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Foot Soldier's Zombie Stink Cloud and his Super Stink Cloud. Now, out of all of the ability comparison videos I have done, these two abilities have probably got the most differences between them, so there's a lot of pros and cons with each one of these abilities. So we are going to be going in detail of these two abilities. So if you do enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like down below and let me know which one of these two abilities you prefer to use on your Foot Soldier. But anyway, let's get straight into with today's video. So first off, let's take a look how much damage these abilities can do to a plant. Well, the maximum damage a Zombie Stink Cloud can do to a plant character is 62 damage, whereas with the Super Stink Cloud, it can do 105 damage. So the Super Stink Cloud actually does over double the amount of damage as the Zombie Stink Cloud, but that's kind of a little bit biased because this is the maximum amount of damage that you can do. Of course, the plants can run out of the Zombie Stink Cloud and therefore they're not going to get damaged anymore, and there are some other pros and cons to each one of these abilities. But just straight up, the difference between the damage of these two abilities is the Zombie Stink Cloud can do a maximum of 62 damage and the Super Stink Cloud can do a maximum damage of 105. Now, how is this working? Well, the answer to that is every time the Zombie Stink Cloud damages a plant character, it will do 2 damage to them. It's not a lot of damage, but if you have a group of plants together, you are going to do a decent amount of damage to a group of plants. Whereas with the Super Stink Cloud, every time you damage the plant character, you're going to do 5 damage. So there's a huge difference between the damages there. The Super Stink Cloud does 5 damage per hit, and the Zombie Stink Cloud does 2 damage per hit. Now, there is also differences between the size of these stink clouds and also how long they are on the ground for, so that's what we're next going to be taking a look at with these two abilities. So on screen right now, you are going to see the two abilities thrown down at almost the same time. It's not exactly the same time, but it's not too far apart. So on the left, you have the Super Stink Cloud, and on the right, you have the Zombie Stink Cloud. Now, instantly, you can see the size differences in these two abilities. The Super Stink Cloud on the left is much smaller than the Zombie Stink Cloud on the right. So that kind of balances out why the Zombie Stink Cloud will do less damage. It is a bigger toxic smoke, and that means that wherever you actually throw your canister to start the Stink Cloud, the plants don't need to be as close to that location. It's going to cover a bigger area, so it could even damage more plants as well, and that kind of weighs up why it does less damage. Now, along with that, you can also see that the Zombie Stink Cloud actually lasts longer on the ground as well compared to the Super Stink Cloud. You can see that it does last a fair few seconds longer than the Super Stink Cloud, and I do actually have the details on how long these do last on the ground. So the Zombie Stink Cloud lasts on the ground for 16 seconds and the Super Stink Cloud will last on the ground for 10 seconds. So the Super Stink Cloud lasts on the ground 6 seconds less than the Zombie Stink Cloud. So the Super Stink Cloud will do more damage quicker, but also lasts on the ground for less time and also covers a smaller area on the map. So you have to try and weigh that up with the damage that it does do. So next, we're going to take a look at how long these abilities take to recharge. So once you've used the ability, the Zombie Stink Cloud is going to take 30 seconds to recharge before you can use this ability again, whereas the Super Stink Cloud actually takes 45 seconds. That is a huge difference between these two abilities. That means that you can use 3 Zombie Stink Clouds in the same time that it takes to use 2 Super Stink Clouds, which is pretty incredible. So the Zombie Stink Cloud does less damage, but it has a bigger smoke cloud, lasts on the ground for longer, and also takes less time to recharge, whereas the Super Stink Cloud, it will do much more damage. It does twice as much damage, it takes longer to recharge, it has a smaller smoke area, and lasts on the ground for less time. So those are all the differences between these two abilities. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, and I like damage. I like giving off as much damage as quickly as I can, so I actually prefer to use the Super Stink Cloud. Even though it's got a smaller smoke area, it lasts on the ground for less time, and it takes longer to recharge, I just always find myself going to the Super Stink Cloud. It just seems to do more damage to the enemy, and I just do prefer to use the Super Stink Cloud. But there we go, that is today's ability comparison. Let me know what you think about these two abilities in the comment section down below. There's a lot of differences between them. There's differences in damage, there's differences in how long the abilities take to recharge, and much more. But let me know which one of these two abilities that you do prefer to use in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you do leave a like, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time.